俺が誰か?
John Cena! Alright, so here we are. The drums of liberation continue to beat with One Piece episode 1072, and honestly, I mean, I know compared to last week, I'm a bit behind. This weekend has like so many things just kind of threw off the entire weekend in terms of schedule. I haven't even reacted or checked out last week's episode of Bleach or even this week just to show you. But we're gonna try see if we can catch up and pump out the content. But yo, welcome back to the channel everyone. Sanjay Uchiha here, and welcome to One Piece episode 1072, and the Gear 5 Looney Tunes madness continues with this episode. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Based on the thumbnails and the titles I see other persons have been putting out, it seems like this episode is another, well, should be better than the last. I mean, if you watch my review for 1071, the Gear 5 premiere, I would have kind of aired out my issues, my objective, you know, criticisms when it comes on to that episode. So if this episode does better, then all the better. I think that would solidify how I felt last week when I said that yo, 1071 and 1072 should have been packaged as a 1 hour special. It would have, I think fans would have come out of the Gear 5 premiere experience with a much better taste in their mouth. But that's just me. But anyway, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about my reaction and thoughts on the episode. And let's get into it. Gear 5th! I love the Drums of Liberation Gear 5. Well, the Drums of Liberation overtaken track. Luffy just chilling.
完全に死んじまったかと思ったが
俺も
ゴムが他に影響を与え始めたらパラミシアの覚醒と見て良さそうだなだが
I love that they brought back the reference to Doflamingo and Katakuri. Monkey power! This just seems so Looney Tunes-ish. I love it, dog. I love how they built up that scene compared to the manga version. I wonder what would happen if he like transformed back to his human size. Like, how would that work, right? To know. Come on, magnificent giant Luffy, dog. Talk about it's crazy because unlike regular Paramecia, right, this man is affecting like organic matter, so that's ridiculous. Here we go. Bro. Man's about to meet the giant Jesus sandals. I'm like how them kind of stage it. We're preparing for this mighty, colossal titan to just appear from the clouds. I love how they're setting it up right here. Yo.
Luffy.
The jump rope. Bruh. Yo! Yo, the sound effects, dog. Yo! Yo! Yo, that must be weird to see, bro. Like, oh, the next person is coming down that hole is Luffy. And man's coming out so like this Looney Tunes. It's like, what's going on? Why does he have white hair? Hmm. Nope. There we go. Jano. when your job sucks all the dreams and aspirations out of you. Shadow. Yo, honestly, if I was Kaido, man, like, would I just fit up on tight at this thing? I've beat this guy like a million times. Oh, I'd be like, I'd break the fourth wall and say, oh, now listen, this plot armor that you're giving this guy, my tie-dye, dog. Like, why, why does he keep coming back? Like, if I was Kaido, I'd be fed up, honestly. Okay, alright, that wasn't so bad. Woo! They might have really gave this man the Super Saiyan aura. And the sound effect too. Yo, certain people not even want to hear about Pedro now. The Will of P. Yo, what kind of looks a dog? Ooh, interesting artistic choice for this scene here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yo, the master, yo, start the party again. Wait, the maneuver left it over the top? Well, I guess this really is over the top. Literally.
なんだこいつは真っ白に姿を変え武装色も覇王色もまとい他に影響を与えるこんな自由な戦闘見たことがねえ
Yo, this is new. Yo. Uh.
ガキとの遊びは本当疲れるぜ
3 2 1
Yo. Yo. Not even the triple repeat, bro. It's like 5 times. Kaido's like, dog, why, bro? Why? Like when I contemplate life choices.
ゴムゴムの俺が誰かモンキー D ルフィ、お前を超えて海賊王になる男だ
Alright, so that was One Piece episode 1072, and honestly I believe this episode will be better received than 1071. Really and truly, I think a lot of the criticisms I had with 1071 aren't really in this episode, or they're there to a much smaller degree compared, but it's still just, in my head at least, it re-emphasizes how I felt with 1071, where I feel like it should have been packaged with this episode. Like I was saying last week, like I was saying in the intro of this video, it just feels like it would have worked much better. You know, give you your quote-unquote money's worth. Even though we're not necessarily paying per se, but you know, you guys get what I mean. Now, of course, with this episode, we have Gear 5 in full play, as the episode title says, and of course, the Warrior of Liberation and how they've described this ridiculous ability as the most ridiculous ability in the world, or most ridiculous power in the world. And we're, you know, finally getting to see what that actually means with how Luffy's, you know, I mean, Luffy's fighting style with the Gum Gum Fruit has always been wacky and all of that, but I think this just really takes it to another level, and we're getting the full display of what the Gorosei meant by, you know, their statement on the fruit awakening. Essentially, like, Luffy is just ultimately free, like full on Looney Tunes, honestly. And to be honest, it just works. Kaido has to be asking, like, yo, this is, I'm not used to this. How is this man fighting freely like this, affecting everything, you know? So, you know, that's interesting. And I did love in the beginning there when, after Kaido was kind of observing, for anime only watchers, you know, them adding the that little, you know, flashback of Doflamingo, well, and I guess Katakuri, even though that's not really a flashback per se, but, you know, it's, you know, newly drawn, but, you know, referencing back to, you know, Katakuri in terms of previous Paramecia fruit awakenings, and just further solidifying that even though we're finding out that the Gum Gum fruit is actually a zone fruit, the fact that he can both transform like a zone but affect the environment like a Paramecia kinda has you still questioning and wondering, like, yo, this fruit is truly something, or it kind of emphasizes that this fruit is truly something else, to say the least, which I definitely like. But I think, apart from all the positives of the episode, I think the thing that we still have to talk about, to us, small degree is the ending here. And I know it doesn't seem like much, Luffy saying, yeah, it's me, I'm Luffy. And again, like I was discussing last week, that some persons had a problem with the gum gum fruit being this god fruit, and they think it ruins the story in retrospect and ruins Luffy's character essentially. And what I was saying last week is Luffy is the one that makes the fruit, not the fruit makes Luffy. And Luffy, Kaido asking Luffy who he is at the end there, and him just kind of reiterating, as he usually does, I'm Luffy, I'm gonna be king of the pirates, etc., etc., kind of re-emphasizes what I was trying to say, that, or at least in this case, what Oda was trying to, I guess, try to do to quell our concerns, like, yo, this is Luffy at the end of the day, and he's the one that makes the fruit, not the other way around. And just the answer to the question that, yo, yeah, this doesn't really ruin Luffy's character at the end of the day. So I think that's the major importance of that last scene there out of everything else. Now, this episode compared to last episode, hardly any, if any, repeated scenes of animation compared to last week. So the usual One Piece piercing techniques they used to pad out the episode was on full display last week. Not so much this week. This week felt like, even though I believe it's they adapted probably one chapter and the first few pages of the following chapter, they would have, I think this would have been probably 1045 and 1046, but just probably the first few pages of 1046 with Kaido asking Luffy who he is essentially. So that's there to note. But this episode, honestly, in terms of when you compare it to the manga, in terms of how they really animate and show you how you get from point A to point B compared to how the manga is set up, they did an excellent job in fleshing out stuff. Because compared to when you're reading it, obviously the pacing is going to be different, but when Kaido swallows Luffy, pause, and when you read it in the manga versus watching here in the anime, they do a good job of kind of showcasing the progression of that swallowing, pause, again. So I definitely love that. So it's things like that I definitely love when it comes on to when you have an episode like this, where even though you're probably adapting one chapter, but they do an excellent job of transitioning between, say, adapting page 1 of this chapter and page 1 panel 1 to 3, and doing an excellent job of animating the in-between steps of connecting panels 1 to 3 with panels 4 to 6, just for argument's sake, for an example there. So with that in mind, this episode felt much more, how should I say, organic, so to speak. It just flowed better, and it didn't really break the immersion like last week where you're saying, oh, Luffy's spinning around, oh, Luffy's, they're spinning around and they're playing the animation again, and then, oh, they're playing it again. So those kind of things kind of break the immersion, so to speak. And some persons were critical of that, and I said it's an objective criticism of last week's episode, which was just not there in this week's episode, which really helped it to flow much better compared to last week, so to speak. And of course, I love the ridiculousness of Gear 5. We had some new scenes here and there. It just works. So there's that. So the pacing wise, so this episode flowed much better. Of course, in terms of what it means for Luffy's character and Gear 5 and this whole God Fruit affecting his character, this episode helped to, I would say, like, solidify that, yo, this is still me, Luffy. It kind of cancels out those words, even though you could still make an argument for it. As I said, there are some objective storytelling tidbits I think Oda could have done better to really, I guess, hint at this, build up to it, but all in all, it doesn't really break Luffy's character, and I think that's the most important thing. So awesome episode, loved it. Gear 5, loved seeing the most ridiculous power in the world on display, and I love the show don't tell aspect. We're actually seeing it play out. Luffy with all this ridiculousness, Looney Tunes, the sound effects, love it. Of course, as I said, the whole tip with Luffy's character. At the end of the day, the pacing much better than last week. All in all, awesome episode. As I said, they could just package it too. If they could have just packaged it with 1071, it would have been the best. But anyway, let me know what you guys think, and of course, leave a comment, like, and yeah, I'll see you in the next One Piece. The Gear 5 reaction reviews continue, I suppose. So, Sanjuichi, I hope you guys are doing awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.